Welcome to SunPumps Do-It-Yourself Videos. I'm Joe Lines, and today we will be installing one of our SDS series submersible pumps. In this video we'll be showing you from start to finish how to properly size, assemble, and install an SDS series submersible pump into a well without any special equipment. What we're doing here is we're using the sounder to go ahead and check the static water level inside the well. You'll notice right there the meter's pegged out and you'll hear the beeping. That's when you hit the water level. And then once you have that static water level, you're going to go ahead and go clear down to the bottom and determine, usually that you can tell by feel, until you get on a real deep well like that, and then you just pick it up and read your measurement. The other method is the Coke bottle method. You want to tie that off real good, drop that down, you'll hear it splash and hit the water. You'll feel the load in your hand kind of go away. Double check, make sure that you're actually there. Tie a knot in your string, and then go ahead and you'll have to bob it up and down several times to get it to fill with water, and then to go ahead and sink. And there again, you'll know by touch. And there you see it going right down the well. Once you hit the bottom, you'll pretty much stop and you won't feel anymore. Pull the slack out of it, tie a knot in it, and the next step will be to go ahead and pull that up and measure your distances. So we've just got a 100-foot tape measure, going to roll it out and measure it away. So here we have the very bottom of the well. The bottom of the well was around 99 feet. And then 45 foot was a static. Stripping the wires, you're going to want to get a nice sharp razor or a good sharp knife to go ahead and strip the wire back. Take care when you're doing this not to nick the insulation. The same process needs to be taking care when you're stripping also. Once you strip the wires back, make sure that you have nice even amounts on each one for the butt connectors to fit properly into. Put on the splice kit material. Make sure that you don't forget to put on the heat shrinks. It's one of the #1 problems that happens out in the field is you forget to put one of those on there and you've already made the butt connections, and then you have to start all over again. Crimp those with a lot of force on that. You want to make sure that you get a nice, even, good crimp. Once you have those crimped onto the wire, we're going to go ahead and crimp those onto the pump itself. And you can see how the splice kits slide right down over the butt connections. Once we have all those in place, we'll go ahead and take a propane torch and evenly heat all the way around. And we want to try and start from the inside and work our way back towards the ends. If it does catch on fire or they stick together, go ahead and just pull it apart. Take the heat back a little bit. And just evenly take that flame and work yourself all the way around it. There's a silicone adhesive inside that is going to work itself into all of the little crevices and nooks and crannies. That's what actually seals up the splice. You can see in the close-up the silicone adhesive starting to come out. Once we have that nice and shrunk down, we're going to want to go ahead and take a wet rag and pour water on it and lightly go around. These are still very hot and will move. Lightly cool them off, and that's going to cause the splice to harden up and not slide around. After you get that nice and cooled off, we want to go ahead and slide the secondary splice piece down over the top. This one is not really going to waterproof anything, it's just going to protect everything. So you want to do the same process, nice even heat all the way around, and cool it with a rag. Take black tape and go ahead and just lightly wrap that around all the way up across the splice. This is just one more added protection to your splice. We're going to install the eye bolt. Tighten that all the way down hand tight. We need to go ahead and take the wrench and tighten the nut back and jam it against. That keeps it from ever coming out. We install the poly adapter fitting, tightening it down with adjustable pliers. And here's kind of the kit that we're going to install. Take your poly rope and we're going to install that through the safety bolt eye, tying a bowline knot. And go ahead and use the tape to secure that so that the knot can never come undone. You can see the pieces of the poly adapter. We're going to go ahead and slide on the top two lock ring and the locking retainer first, and then install the actual barb into the polypipe. It's a little bit on the tight side, but you just have to force and work it in there. Once you have that on there, let's go ahead and finish it up by installing the lock ring on the top side. Use your adjustable pliers to go ahead and finish it off and get it nice and tight. Use a 10 mil black tape to go ahead and wrap all that together and secure it. Go clear above the splice kit. This is just to protect it. Once again, keep it from dragging on the well casing going down inside the well. Roll out your poly pipe and your safety rope. And take care when you're rolling your wire out to make sure that you don't get it tied up into knots. We measured the length of the pipe, cut it to length, and then now we're going to go ahead and install the fitting kit through the well sill, adding the poly adapter for the inside of the well, the eye bolt for the safety rope. This is a PVC safety rope, so we need it to be inside the well casing to make sure that it doesn't get dry rotted by the sun. Use 2 nuts on the top side, and then we'll jam nut those together. Same process is going to be applied to this poly adapter as was on the other end. Once we have that securely tightened, go ahead and tie the bowline knot once again. And secure it with tape. Strip the wires back so that you can feed them through the fitting on the top of your well sill. This is where we're going to make the connection going from this into the junction box at the wellhead. Secure the wire safety rope and polypipe about every 10 feet with a 10 mil tape. Once you have all that, you're ready to install into the well. Go ahead and drop it down nice and slow, making sure that nothing drags or hangs up. We are using a flexible conduit going from the wellhead into a junction box. Go ahead and strip the wires back and install your wire nuts. Tighten your well seal down. And tighten any additional plumbing. We're now going to install the control box and the solar panel portion of the pump. You can see here that we've already installed the pump wires in the conduit into the box. We're showing 2 different types here. This is a parallel connector. Depending on your type of solar panels, if you have the 30-volt panels, then you would need to parallel them. It's always important to make sure that you check your voltages once you have these attached to make sure that you do not have too much voltage. If you exceed 45 open circuit volts, it will damage the controller. And here we're showing just a little bit of power. So they are a low voltage, but it's still enough to hurt. We're showing you the voltage coming off the panels. You're roughly going to be between 38 and 40 volts. We're going back to a series circuit on these solar panels using the interconnect, and that's the setup for your series circuit. It's always important to also take the wires and do your wire management and zip tie those up out of the way or fasten them to the rack. We want to go ahead and disconnect the power while we're installing the interconnect solar panels into the control box. You don't have to use any ring terminals. Sometimes it's easier to do that prior to. The control box will accept either. We want to make sure we check our voltages once again, so go ahead and attach your wires to the interconnect and check your voltages. Once we have that, we'll go ahead and turn the pump on, and you can see we get water. The green LED light will indicate that there is power going out to the unit, and that's what we're measuring. If you need to, you can go ahead and adjust your motor speed control down, and that will slow the water pumping rate. So you can see the voltage is proportional to the amount of water coming out of the pump. It will shut off at about 5 to 6 volts. We're going to show you the float switch circuit. Once you have that hooked up, what we need to do is show you that there is a pump up and a pump down function. You can look at the little LEDs to see which of the settings that you need to set for your float switch. If you are in the opposite position, you can put dip switch number 4 in the up position, and that will reverse the logic. We want to make sure if we've made any adjustments and we want it back to full output, go ahead and turn the motor speed control all the way up to get full output out of your SunPumps.